Something we thought might be fun is if we created our very own mascot.
Move over, Picasso, because there's a new squad of mini artists in town. Jason and Kylie Kelce's kids, Wyatt and Ellie, are proving that creativity definitely runs in the family. They've taken on the challenge of designing the brand new.
That's right! While most kids their age are busy finger painting masterpieces for the fridge, which is also great, Wyatt, Ellie, and Bennett Kelce have taken things up a notch.
Mascot for Jason's late night show. They call it Late Night with Jason Kelce. Most kids their age might be busy with finger painting masterpieces for the fridge, which, let's be honest, is still pretty great. But Wyatt and Ellie have decided to take things up a notch. They've entered the world of late-night TV branding, and their design ideas are nothing short of chaotic genius. When Jason first brought up the idea of a mascot for his show, it seemed like a typical family discussion. But what Jason didn't expect was for his kids to dive right in and actually take over the design process. Instead of just offering random suggestions, Wyatt and Ellie brought their own creative visions to life, using crayons and imagination. The whole thing quickly turned into a high-energy, somewhat wild brainstorming session. You could feel the excitement in the room as ideas were flying, hands were waving, and a few of the ideas were just pure toddler chaos. In fact, at one point, Bennett, the youngest of the crew, was making up words that might or might not even be real, just adding to the mess of creativity. After a few moments of confusion, the kids settled into a clear plan. They quickly ruled out a lot of typical mascot ideas. No sharks, no dogs, no birds, and absolutely no footballs with legs. It was one of those moments where no one really needed to question why. It just felt right. When you think about the Kelce family, one thing is certain. When they commit to something, they go all in. So, with full creative control handed over to the kids, the real design work began. What followed was nothing short of entertaining. At first, the process was full of giggles and excitement. Wyatt, Ellie, and Bennett were ready to sketch out the next big thing in late-night TV. But soon enough, things took a turn for the serious. It wasn't just about creativity anymore. It became a full-on competition. Who got to use the best markers? Who would get their idea into the final design first? And, as it often goes with kids, Ellie was not willing to share her markers. She hoarded the best ones, refusing to give them up. There was a bit of back and forth over who was going to use the good colors, with Bennett just trying to make sense of everything. But Kylie, their mom, stepped in and worked her magic. With her patient, experienced hand, she managed to get the kids to share. It was a miracle in the making. Once the marker drama was settled, the kids dove back into their creative process with renewed energy. There was something almost magical about the way their little minds worked. Each of them took on a specific role. Wyatt, the older sibling, immediately claimed responsibility for the face of the mascot. She decided it had to be pink. Why? Because why not? As she carefully colored in the face, Jason couldn't help but ask her what exactly the mascot had in its mouth. Without skipping a beat, Wyatt casually answered, "Something to drink, of course. This mascot should never be thirsty." And just like that, the mascot had a drink because hydration is important, even for a TV mascot. Meanwhile, Ellie was laser-focused on the body. But instead of creating a simple, smooth design like you might expect from a typical mascot, Ellie had a game-changing idea. This mascot needed hair, lots and lots of hair. So she went to town, adding tons of fluffy, crazy hair all over the character's body. It was a bold move, but it fit with the overall vibe of the creative process. Then there was little Bennett, who, at almost 2 years old, wasn't too concerned with how the mascot looked in terms of design or style. He had one mission. The mascot had to have legs. Not just any legs, though. No, these legs had to be chicken legs. Why? Because they just made sense to him. In Bennett's toddler world, chicken legs were the only acceptable option. Jason, watching this unfold, had to roll with the punches as his kids took full creative control. The final result was a pink, fuzzy mascot with chicken legs, a drink in its mouth, and wild, untamed hair. At that point, it was clear that this wasn't going to be a typical mascot. It was going to be something unique, something no one had ever seen before on late-night TV. The design was completely chaotic and completely brilliant at the same time. And then, the big moment arrived. It was time to figure out a name for this masterpiece. The naming process was just as wild as the design process. Wyatt, the big sister, confidently threw out the name, Dragon. Ellie, never one to shy away, from a laugh, upped the ante and proudly declared, MC Fart Fart Butt Butt. And just like that, the Kelce family had birthed the most absurd yet hilarious mascot name of all time, Dragon McFart, Fart Butt Butt. Now, you might be thinking, Jason was just humoring his kids, letting them run wild with their designs and playing along with their silly name ideas. Surely, he wasn't going to bring their crazy vision to life, right? Well, wrong. Jason Kelce is a man of his word, and when it came to his kids' creativity, he went all in. He actually had the mascot professionally designed. Not just a sketch, not just a joke. A real, fully designed mascot that looked exactly like the one his kids had created. When the time came to reveal the mascot on the show, the reaction was priceless. Jason talked about the whole process of creating the mascot with his kids, sharing the hilarious details of how it all came together. Then, with a dramatic pause, the mascot itself walked out onto the stage. The crowd absolutely lost it. There it stood, in all its chaotic glory. Pink, with flowing hair, a drink in its mouth, and, of course, chicken legs. It was everything, and nothing like what anyone expected. And the crowd loved it. Jason, of course, was beaming with pride. He was proud of his kids for their creativity, and proud to see their wild, wacky design become a reality. Kylie, sitting beside him, couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all. The kids had truly made something special. It was a moment to remember, not just for Jason's show, but for his kids too. They had just created a piece of late-night TV history. But what made this whole experience even more remarkable was the way Jason and Kylie included their kids in something so big. Instead of dismissing their ideas or telling them to let the adults handle it, they gave them the chance to be a part of something important. They listened to their kids' wild suggestions, and they brought those ideas to life. That kind of parenting is so impactful. It shows kids that their voices matter, that their creative ideas are important, and that even the silliest suggestions deserve to be heard. In a world where adults often brush off kids' input, the Kelces made sure their kids felt seen and valued. For Wyatt, Ellie, and Bennett, this experience was a huge confidence booster. They didn't just get to help design a mascot. They got to make decisions, collaborate, and see their ideas become a reality. They learned that their creativity could lead to something big, and that's a lesson they'll carry with them forever. The best part of all of this is that it's a perfect example of how Jason and Kylie are raising their kids to be confident, independent thinkers. They're not just parents, they're partners in creativity with their children. This kind of support and encouragement is invaluable, and it's no surprise that Travis Kelce, Jason's brother, has so much respect for the way Jason and Kylie parent. Travis has always looked up to his older brother, but watching Jason and Kylie crush it as parents, that's a whole new level of admiration. Now, imagine what would happen if Wyatt, Ellie, and Bennett were given the opportunity to design something even bigger. Could they come up with a wedding theme for Travis and Taylor? Would the world be ready for that level of creativity? And let's be real. It's only a matter of time before Dragon McFartfart Butt gets its own merchandise line. Would you buy a t-shirt with that name on it? Because honestly, we wouldn't blame you. In the end, this entire experience is a testament to the incredible parenting style of Jason and Kylie. They didn't just create a mascot for a late-night show. They created a moment of joy, chaos, and love that will stay with their kids forever. And maybe, just maybe, they've started a new trend in late-night TV mascot design. So, who's next?